The second thing I want to tell you is begin to develop your own ability to see humor in everyday life. Begin to develop, this is one of the most important tools you have, especially during stressful times. Begin to develop your own ability to see humor in everyday life. I think it's one of the most important tools you have at your disposal, especially during stressful times. Begin to develop your own ability. I love this hand sanitizer. But have you ever read the ingredients on it? It's 60% alcohol and 40% water, which according to my mom were the same ingredients as Dad on New Year's Eve. Did y'all ever see the movie As Good as It Gets? Melvin Udall, the obsessive compulsive. Twyla and I went to the picture show and saw As Good as It Gets, and we just laughed and laughed because that wasn't Jack Nicholson up there on the screen. That is Kent Rader up there on the screen. Right? It was like an epiphany for me because all of a sudden I realized I have obsessive compulsive tendencies, right? I clean my hands, right? I count steps. As I go up and down steps, I count them, and if you interrupt me, I've got to go back. Right? Symmetry is very important to me, right? My kids, in our family, we eat Oreo cookies in some sort of multiple of 3, 1 out of each row. Very important to keep the rows even. Right? My kids' entire lives, they have had to show me when they eat Oreo cookies, they have some sort of multiple of 3. 6, 9, 12, 15, whatever, right? But then they become teenagers. They get rebellious, right? They come in, they got 12 cookies. I'm thinking everything's fine. They've taken them all out of one row, which contaminates the whole package, right? My grandma called me this afternoon, and she goes, baby, you know, with this swine flu and all your traveling and everything, you might want to wash your hands every now and again. And I hear my parents laughing in the background. I said, Grandma, did it take 3 of you to come up with that? And she goes, yeah, we've been laughing about it since yesterday evening. But one of the things I'm very compulsive about are socks and shoes, right? First of all, I never walk anywhere barefoot. The minute I get out of bed, I put on socks and shoes, always in the exact same order. Left sock, left shoe, right sock, right shoe. And when I take them off, I take them off in the opposite order. Right shoe, right sock, right? Plus, I only wear women's socks. I do. I buy them at Walmart, which kind of makes me feel like a degenerate, right? Because the women's socks are in with the women's undergarment. That's where I saw the gold bra. I decided a couple of months ago, I'm only going to buy my socks late at night when I get done at the comedy clubs because it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. The problem is there really are degenerates in Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning. I only wear my socks twice. I wear them the day I take them out of the package and then one more time before I throw them in a bag and take them to Goodwill. You know what Twyla said to me right before I left home? She said, did you ever think maybe Goodwill is selling those socks back to Walmart? Well, not until now. I hadn't. Socks and shoes are very important to me. That's why after September 11th, I never took off my shoes at airport security. I would just go through the additional screening, right? I'm flying out of Newark a few years ago. When I get to the additional screening, I just assume the position, right? Because they run that wand around your body. The kid goes, oh, I see you've done this before. I go, yeah, and he goes, it is so nice to work with professionals. But they would take this cloth and they would rub it over the tops and the sides of your shoes, and then they stick it in a machine to see if there's gunpowder on your shoes, right? Now, it's the same 7 guys that check me every time at the Oklahoma City airport. Till about 3 years ago, they hired a new kid named Virgil. Virgil gets done checking my shoes. He pulls that cloth out of that machine that he has touched 40,000 shoes, and he goes, now, hold out your hands. I go, why? He goes, I'm going to rub this cloth on your hand, see if you got gunpowder. I go, no, you're not. Also, just in case you're going to ask, I'm not going to lick the floor either. That comment will get you a supervisor. Supervisor walks over and he goes, Virgil, what's the problem? Virgil goes, the suspect, right? Like I'm the governor of Illinois or something. He goes, the suspect won't let me check his hands for gunpowder. Also, he says he won't lick the floor either. Now, this poor supervisor has this look on his face like he missed some national security memo about making people lick a floor. Finally, he starts laughing. He goes, Virgil, did you ever see the movie As Good as It Gets? Virgil goes, yeah. And he goes, this is Mr. Rader. He's a comedian. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his act. Too late for that.